6 Super Bowls, but 0 friends, including the refs who are on your payroll. The real reason you got that $1 million PP loan. Welcome to part 2 of the Divisional Round recap of the best and worst from NFL football weekend, where we remember why we hate football. The Chiefs win, Tom Brady wins, the feel-good team of the year goes down, and a Hall of Fame quarterback gets shown the door by a quarterback who's technically 18 months older than him, although his plastic face would suggest he has better skin than the two 26-year-old quarterbacks left in the AFC. Now, I recapped the best and worst from the Bills, Ravens, and Packers, Rams game already, so don't forget to check that out. Today is all about the Browns, Chiefs, and Bucs Saints games. Cleveland, haunted by another postseason fumble at the goal line, plus a bad call, and Brady gets Drew Brees at his worst. Typical. That's good, sports. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel for football news presented in the most annoying way possible. I have a coffee company, BenchwarmerBrew.com. So, if you love coffee, craft roasted, organic, ethically sourced, delicious coffee, check it out. And like Tom Brady in the TB12 method, I will falsely claim this has magical healing properties. Didn't prevent me from getting a cold, which I'm fighting through right now like a real champ, but it will heal your ailments. BenchwarmerBrew.com. All kidding aside, is really fucking good coffee that I'm super proud of. Check it out if you're in the mood. Browns fall to the Chiefs. Now the Chiefs went into this game without Clyde Edwards-Helaire and their backup right tackle, Mike Remmers. The Browns went into this game without any expectations, and a lot more players got lost in this game to injury, starting with the big one. I, of course, mean Browns left tackle Jedrick Wills, who was injured on the Browns' first offensive play. Best. After a 1-yard Patrick Mahomes touchdown and missed extra point by Harrison Butker, the Browns tacked on a field goal. Who would have thought that Cody Parkey would have outperformed Harrison Butker and Justin Tucker in the playoffs? Trying to succeed after becoming a meme is no easy task, so hold your head high, Cody. Today, you are no doink. Worst, Patrick Mahomes threads the needle on this jet sweep. 41 yards to McCole Hardman. Truly, only Mahomes. Worst, Browns put together a great drive before halftime, including some perfect throws by Baker Mayfield. This one to Higgins looks like it's going to turn into a touchdown, but oh shit! He fumbles through the end zone. Touchback. All of Cleveland's momentum goes away on a key scoring drive. Worst, is the touchback rule stupid? I don't really think so. There has to be a risk for diving for a touchdown, in my opinion. It's one of the few rules that benefits the defense. And unless Derek Carr is playing, this situation doesn't happen that often. The problem here, though, was Dirty Dan Sorensen got away with a dirty damn hit. He led with his helmet, and he hit Higgins right in the helmet 9 out of 10 times. This is flagged. And you can also disagree with the helmet rule. I get that. I don't love it either, but just like the touchback rule, it is a rule, so it should be flagged. Too many damn bad calls in the playoffs. What I demand is consistency with these calls. That's all fans want. Higgins paid the price for reaching for the touchdown, and the Browns paid the price for not paying the refs. Pretty sure this will be taught in Tom Brady's economic courses one day. Worst, zero self-awareness from the Chiefs' Twitter account here. They're actively sharing evidence of a helmet-to-helmet hit. This is like the CIA and the Mafia tweeting out the footage of the Kennedy assassination. Just count your lucky stars and keep this one to yourself, guys. Also, Dirty Dan got his nickname because he once made love to a farm pig, not because he's a dirty player. So let's not give him any negative labels here, all right? Best, Browns get a break with another missed Harrison Butker field goal and finally remember to run the damn ball, ending the drive with a Jarvis Landry touchdown. Great answer and shows they're not giving up. Worst, seeing one of the best QBs in the league and Patrick Mahomes getting knocked out of the postseason with a head injury. Although welcome to the club, Browns, of losing to the Chiefs even when their best player leaves the game. Something us Broncos fans and Browns fans can share. And oddly, us Chiefs fans and Broncos fans can share benefiting from a Browns fumble on the goal line in the postseason to advance to the next game. We all have a lot in common when it gets down to brass tacks. Best, Andy Reid does not give a shit who is in at quarterback, and he still goes for it on 4th and inches right after the Mahomes injury. How many coaches do that in that situation? Maybe Belichick? Obviously, 4th and inches is nothing for the Chiefs' offense, but to not be like, let's just punt here so we can reset the offense with Chad Henne was really impressive. Worst, Tyreek Hill shoves his position coach. CBS played it off like Tyreek and the wide receivers coach, former Eagle Greg Lewis, were having a goof. Ask yourself, is this how you and the boys bust each other's balls? Or does Tyreek Hill just look like a dickhead who loses his temper from time to time? Best, this catch by Austin Hooper on 4th down to keep a crucial Browns drive alive. Cleveland converted 2 on this key touchdown drive. Kareem Hunt poetically capped the drive with a touchdown run after the Browns took over 8 minutes off the clock on 18 plays. Longest drive by the Browns all season in terms of number of plays, and the first time this year Chiefs fans felt fear. Hindsight, though, tells me the Browns should have tried to score more quickly. Worst, God letting Tyreek Hill make this catch? To be serious for a second, I don't understand how Tyreek Hill is so good. I know why Mahomes is great. I know why Travis Kelce is great. And I get that Tyreek Hill is faster than most on the field, but I don't recall watching a guy of his size who can catch the ball like a 6'2" receiver. That said, best, learning that you can't just chuck the ball anywhere downfield and Tyreek Hill will find it. Chad Henne launches a ridiculously hilarious interception. Carl Joseph probably could have waved his arm for a fair catch with this one. Worst, me having to give Chad Henne the Benchwarmer Brew Player of the Week award, and it not being a sarcastic nod because he threw a game-losing pick for the team I hate. Instead, KC got a great series from their defense. The Browns punted for some dumb reason, and Andy Reid, with his backup in the game, with the game on the line, dialed up a let's try and get them to jump on 4th down, but if they don't, throw it to Tyreek Hill for the 1st down play. And it worked. Henne needed to get 2 firsts for the victory formation, and he did it. Andy Reid becomes the only head coach to host the championship game 3 times in a row, once with the Eagles and now again with the Chiefs. Hopefully, he brings the losing record in those games with him, so it truly is Buffalo all the way this time! Bucs Saints. We know that Mahomes and Mayfield played in college and combined for about 5,000 yards in a single game. But don't forget the time that Brady and Brees played. The first time they ever met was back in 1999. Brees at Purdue, Brady at Michigan. Keep in mind, though, that was so long ago that both women and minorities weren't even allowed to attend college yet. Best, Deonte Harris cannot be stopped on his first 2 punt returns, except by the referees. A great one to start the game that set up a field goal, and then an incredible return that didn't count. The second return was a TD called back for an illegal block in the back. You call this an illegal block in the back? That's just back touching. This is how I think the officials should make these calls. If you're walking down the boardwalk with your best gal, and you could see yourself using the same technique to apply your hand to the small of her back, then it's not a fucking penalty. Worst, Harris then left the game with an injury since the Saints offense had to play that series, and he was never seen again. Worst, very low T first 20 minutes of the game, but probably what you would expect from 2 quarterbacks that probably need Blue Chew to get it up in their advanced age. although the TB12 method calls for organic horny goat weed for the most pliable erection. And then it all picked up. Best, Sean Murphy Brown bunting picks Brees and takes it back to the 3, setting up the Bucs for a Mike Evans touchdown, the most deadly 2 to 3 yard touchdown scorer in the league. Best, Saints got extremely tricky and pitched the ball to Jameis Winston, who found Tre'Quan Smith wide, and I mean wide open for the TD. Jameis takes his revenge against the Bucs, who unjustly released him for Tom Brady after throwing 30 interceptions. And congrats to Jameis Winston for throwing a touchdown to the Saints when he was actually trying to. Best, even though his body died after week 9, Brees' mind is still very sharp. Here he is celebrating after that touchdown. Yeah, all right, guys, great job. Yeah, all right, great job. Except for you blew an assignment. Worst, CJ Gardner-Johnson throws a kidney shot before the half. Something tells me this guy isn't very well liked. Thank you, Dustin Colquitt, for keeping our game civil and being the snitch the NFL needs. Best, fast forward to the second half, and on the first drive, Drew Brees drops a dime to Tre'Quan Smith for his second touchdown of the game, reclaiming the lead. And I think that's dose for Trey. Best, Joe Buck shouts out Barstool Big Cat during the broadcast, talking about playoff Lenny Fournette. It's pretty incredible how quickly Joe Buck has gone from a hated figure to someone who doesn't take himself too seriously, and he probably has Mr. Cat to thank for that.
Called him Playoff Lenny. And that's like last year with Playoff Damien of the champion Kansas City Chiefs. There you go, Big Cat.
Can we also shorten Carlton Davis for the Bucs to Carl? That way, we'd have the greatest playoff duo of all time in Playoff Lenny and Carl. Worst, the play that ultimately cost the Saints the win. Jared Cook has a big catch and run, crossing midfield before getting poked by Antoine Winfield Jr. Ball goes straight to Devin White for a huge turnover when the Saints could have extended it to a 2-score lead. Instead, Playoff Lenny gets into the end zone, and it's a tie game at 20. Worst, Brady gets bailed out like his middle name is Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. Tyler Johnson makes a hell of a contortion catch on a bad throw by Brady. Then Scooty Miller gets Edelman open deep a couple plays later. How is every wide receiver on this team a superstar? The drive results in 3 for the Bucs after Marshawn Lattimore nearly picks Tom Brady in the red zone. Another gift from the demons in hell. Worst, for the second time in the game, Devin White takes the ball away from Drew Brees, and it leads to a quarterback sneak touchdown for Tom Brady. Brady goes to high-five the official, who wisely tells him to fuck right off. Come on, Tom, we can't be that obvious about us being in cahoots. Worst, really tough to see Drew Brees, one of the best to ever do it, going out on back-to-back picks like this. Mike Edwards gets a tip that bounces off of Jared Cook, just about icing the game. Perhaps the end of a great quarterback and one of the great heroes for the city of New Orleans post-Hurricane Katrina. The Bucs get the win by a score of 30-20. The Saints lose at home in the playoffs for the 3rd straight season. And surprise, surprise, we get Tom Brady back in the Final Four. Look, Tom Brady didn't play particularly well in this game. That's what really chaps my ass. He had 3 dropped interceptions, a Saints touchdown called back, and the quarterback he faced threw 3 picks. And everyone was talking about how great Brady was in the game. Not true. He just looked good because poor Drew Brees looked so damn bad. Like, if you were to watch this show and then watch Good Morning Football. Is Good Morning Football good? Yes, unlike my show, its name does not lie to you with the word good in the title. But if you watch it after watching me, it's going to look amazing. If Brady bests Rodgers this weekend, I will dial back my hate. Until then, Jared Goff was better in a loss this last weekend than Brady was in a win. Worst, Drew Brees hugging the man who just destroyed his dreams. Thanks for watching That's Good Sports. Again, the Bills-Packers victorious best and worst episode up right now. It's on the screen. You can click it to watch. I'm on Twitter @Brandon Perna, Instagram @BenchwarmerBrew.